hip what it is? It's your boy No Show Trail here, and like I said, like 1,000 years ago, I'ma do like an anime tier list of all the anime I seen, and that's what I'm doing. Like I know I ain't seen that many anime as you can see right here. There's more that I have seen that ain't on this list, like the ones that I seen a minute ago, like way too long for me to remember and rank. So I ain't put them on here, but I still need to see some more. Finna watch Doctor Stone, Cowboy Bebop. Those is two shows that I never seen any reviews for. I don't know anything about, so I'm gonna be going into it with a fresh mind. I'm gonna review it on the channel too. So it's like, you feel me? I won't be swayed by no ups. You feel me? Makes sense. I need some other ones to watch. Drop some recommendations in the comment section. And yeah, before I get into this, few things I gotta explain. The tiers too. Peak does not mean perfect. Peak means it did what it felt like it needed to do. A ninja show, we learned why he's a ninja, something like that. That was a weird example, but it did what it intended to do. A high school show, all the high school shows they're supposed to like character growth, like that's the main focus. They do what they supposed to do. Two, if I like the manga more than I like the anime, like certain shows, like just just certain shows, some are the manga is better. I'm gonna use the manga as my example when I'm ranking it, not the anime, because I'm gonna use the best version of it. Three, with some of the movies, it's only a few. With some of the movies, I'm not gonna base, or like second seasons or some junk like that. I'm not gonna base it off of the other versions of it or movies or whatever. I'm gonna treat it as a standalone thing. That's all I got to say. Too much explanation. None needed. Yeah, let me get into this list. I had to lick that big chunk of crust off my lip. I had to. It was on it, but yeah, Code Geass, it was perfect. It's one of those shows that you can't just pick up and put down. You have to binge watch it, or at least watch it consistently to like it. If you was to just drop it and pick up a second season way later, because that's what I did the first time, and I still enjoyed it. But then when I fully watched it, as like completely, it was good. It was golden. Peak. It was not a single dry spell of it, except for maybe the beginning of that last season. It was like a little point where it was like, what the heck is going on? But other than that, it was peak. Yu Hakusho, same thing. It felt like it was supposed to be a simple high school anime. It was like Bleach, but it stayed in that human realm type junk. Like yeah, they went to the other places, but it was supposed to still focus on that realm, while Bleach focused more on the Soul Society. Like it did what it needed to do. Good. The good tiers where it's like basically the same thing, but it's like something that drags in there. Something like one thing that brings it down. It was like that underwater arc and some little pieces around that point in the story just dragged, but the rest was like good. It is good. My Hero, I put it enjoyable. Like like I ain't caught up with the manga. I only seen up to like the overhaul part in the anime. I'm pretty sure in the current anime, I've seen a little bit of it and it's pretty boring. So I'm only gonna base it off of the full parts that I've seen. The fights is good. Everything else, the story is kind of bland. Yeah, it's supposed to just be a normal superhero anime, but I wouldn't put it that high. It's good. I mean, it's enjoyable. I would watch it multiple times, but I wouldn't say it's just amazing. Basically, Part One Naruto. Now I do hate Orochimaru in Tsunade. The whole Orochimaru Tsunade junk, the Hokage junk, I feel like that was all unneeded, unnecessary, stupid. But that's like side stuff within the story. Like yes, even the third Hokage, that's all side stuff that was going on in the story. That wasn't really important. It amounted to nothing. But the main focus of the story, I would say, was good. And again, not based off of Shippuden, because Shippuden basically redid some of the same stuff over and over and over again. Sasuke retrieval arc 5 times. Shippuden, I would still put in enjoyable, mainly because of the fights, the music, the openings, and all of that. It carried it to that point, but the war arc drags way too much, and the amount of times you got to deal with the Sasuke retrieval junk and the forced Itachi plot lines and just forced random BS. It's still enjoyable though. Like it's still that good, even though it's a lot of stuff dragging it down. It's still that good. Barto, Burger King tier. Burger King tier, you don't say I want to go eat at Burger King, but if you starve, you will eat at Burger King. They got that one little chicken fried meal and that's it. Baruto is like the fight. Literally nobody liked this junk. It's just straight filler. But then when the whole Ishiki junk happened, everybody loves this show. but it's still pretty trash. It has two good fights, and that's it. There's literally nothing else in this series that's good. Not a single thing other than those two fights. Now we got Bleach. Bleach, I would put definitely at peak, both manga and anime. It was just not a single moment in there where I was like, even the Fullbringer arc, how that still was kind of like a little weird. The character, literally everything around that arc was good, other than the fact that the villains was kind of weird and cliche, but that's it. It was still good. The villains were still cold. Tsukushima and I can't even remember Jerry Greeno. I can't remember his name, but they were still good villains. It still worked. Basically, what I'm saying. This movie was enjoyable. Again, not gonna base it off of Bleach because if I did, it still follows that same cliche storyline type junk. But treating it as its own movie, I liked it. I only seen it once, and at one time I was in the whole time, like just enjoying it. Storyline definitely overhated. It did what it needed to. It was supposed to be a video game in real life situation. They get trapped in it. It did what it needed to do. Overhated. Fights was good. There was not a single dragon point in it. Music was good. Animation was clean. Everything. Even the character designs was good. It was on point. Now then, it just starts going downhill from there. This, I like the abilities and new stuff they added. At the same time, the story kind of got a little wonky. They wasn't trapped in the game. It didn't. It wasn't as serious as this one. Is basically what I'm saying. It kind of dropped the quality a little bit. Gonna get on Ashby next. This one was just as good as that though. Even though they made Kirito a girl for some reason. Again, I'm not basing it off of the other one, so I gotta treat it as on standalone. But it was still good. The swords, the shooting, and all of that junk. It was like basically Sword Online, but the fact that Def Gun wasn't really again, spoilers. I mean, that should be common sense. I'm ranking the anime. The stuff with Def Gun, I feel like he should have been a real like in-game bug or hacker or something like that. The way they ended it off, it was kind of stupid, but that could have been peak if they didn't do that. This one is like just nah. It's not a single thing that makes me want to watch it. It was a cold thing with Kirito getting out of the chair, but after that, it was not that good. It was not that good. It was a good concept, but it was just done poorly. This is going to be the first one in the fairy tale tier. Fairy tale tier is self-explanatory. It's the fairy tale tier, and this is going to be the first one in it because the pastel colorings, the like it looks literally like oil pastel. I hate oil pastel. It's based in Europe. I hate Europe. I hate British people. I hate British accents. I hate everything about it. The music. I hate the music, even though people really love it. Not a single thing in this that I enjoyed. I watched the whole thing. Guess people always say, "Oh, you didn't watch it." I watched it. It was not good. This one was a little bit better. The art looks better than honestly the other parts of JoJo's. I haven't seen them, but I've seen a lot from them, and it looks. This is like the best art I've seen from the whole series. Other than that, still mid. Well, not mid. Worse than mid. But Parasite, they could have added more to it. It was a little too flat, but other than that, it was still good. Wouldn't put it in peak though. There wasn't that many good side characters. That's the only thing it lacked. Fairy Tail Tier, I know they came out with a movie that fixed some of the issues that happened at the end, but just the series itself, it was just like, it just, at the end, it was just so stupid. Literally, like 3 episodes straight, this nigga was just sitting here just, this nigga was having like a stroke or something. I don't know what it was. This is mid. I didn't explain it, but the mid tier is just an okay anime, overhyped normally, carried by animation normally, you know, something of that tier, and Fire Force is the first mid one. It's so much fan service too that brings it down. I would have put it in enjoyable, but the fan service just makes it annoying. Serious moments killed for laughs. That's not really funny. Assassination Classroom was good. Again, another weird kind of ending thing to it. Like it just felt like it should have been more for the ending for a series that long, but guess not. Carried by animation, pretty generic, boring. Peak, don't really need to defend that one. Dragon Ball, it was a little mid in the beginning, but like around the Piccolo times and the stuff we got Tien and all that Crane School, it picked up, so I put it in enjoyable. ZI I put in peak. It was some weird stuff with the Majin Buu, but even then, it was still, I would still say it's peak. It's just like certain preferences I have, certain fights I want to see, but that's it. Still putting peak. The Z movies, I would honestly put up there. They do. I gotta put the Z movies up there. There was the only Z movie that was like weird. The two Z movies that was weird was maybe. No, I wouldn't even say the We Love movie. I would just say the Bio Broly movie. But as a collective, the movies is like they just tell these simple flatline stories, conquerors and all this trying to invade Earth. I know they're pretty cliche, but they all do their own thing. They don't feel like a rinse and repeat type thing. So they would all be good. The fights is good, music, really everything in those movies is good, and they find a way to be unique, even though it's the same plot over and over and over again. So that's good. I'm gonna base this off the manga because if I based it off the anime, I would get mad just by talking about it because I hated the anime of the Super. I mean, it was good towards the Tournament of Power, but everything else was just done terribly compared to the manga. But the manga itself was goated, even including the moral arc. It was just goated, the art styles and all that. Yes, I know there was reasons for the animation and the art being bad, but I can care less. I can care less. I'm not gonna put it any higher. I don't care about anybody's feelings. I don't care. Put GG behind these Battle of Gods. These are the movies, not the arcs. I put it mid because it was only good because of the animation and the fight. Well, not the animation, but that like one fight in it. That was it. So I gotta put it right here. And this was just doogie. I don't need to defend that. GT, the beginning kind of spoiled it, but like ruined it. But I'm touching too much stuff. Pause. Yeah. I put it right with Dragon Ball. Same stuff. The beginning of it was kind of dragging, and then it picked up towards later on. Full Metal Alchemist and was kind of weird, and that got fixed in Brotherhood, where Brotherhood was peak. Yes, I want to see more Alchemist in the story, but that's the only thing I would prefer that would be changed. But they would have to tie that in, and if they would have kept going, it would definitely be way better. Like they got a whole bunch of stuff that could be set up. It didn't feel like plot holes and nothing like that. It was just literally stuff going, like other parts in the world that just wasn't, you feel me, brought up in the story. So when this comes back, where I know it will, it's gonna be higher than peak. It's gonna break the roof. I put it enjoyable. Yes, it's carried by animation and just stuff like that, but I will say it's pretty good. I mean, if I was basing it off the fandom, I would put it right here. But yeah, it's a little bit better than just carried by animation. This would be high too, but no, they want to do all the annoying fan service crap. It's annoying. You can like girls, but just throwing it in everybody's face 24/7. Come on. I separated Attack on Titan 1 through 3 to in season 4 because I honestly want to put this in peak and put this down here because I put it right here actually because the only good stuff about season 4 was that the first couple of episodes. Like I'm pretty sure that whole breaking the internet jump was also the first couple of episodes where he was Aaron was at their place basically doing to them what they did to him, like type jump like that. That was the only good piece, and the rest was just boring. It was just trash. I just couldn't stand it. The first time, like as it was coming out, I didn't finish it, and I just ended up watching it, and it was just as trash as I thought. Read the manga for it, did not like it. It was not good. But this, on the other hand, perfect. It did exactly what it needed to. There was no real story, but it was like stuff going on. But the whole time, it was just Titan stuff, and it was Attack on Titan. It was what it was supposed to be. Trash. Everybody hates on the animation in season 4. That's trash too. But the whole series as a whole, like there was not a single good thing about this. The character is annoying. Like the main character is annoying. The designs are trash. The villains look stupid. There's not a single good thing about it. Of course, Fairy Tail has to go in the Fairy Tail tier. The only good thing is like the openings, and that's it. There's not another thing. There's just not a single good thing that can move it up any higher. I've seen this like thousands of times. This is like one of the first few series I've seen, and trash. Every time I look at it, I gotta say trash. I can't even help myself. Trash. I'm sorry. Tokyo Ghoul season 1 was good and everything after was trash. Everybody knows that. Don't gotta defend that. Mid, Hunter x Hunter is literally mid. That's probably like if somebody asks what the definition of mid was, I would say Hunter x Hunter because it literally that's literally what it is. There's nothing really amazing about Hunter x Hunter. It's some cool scenes, yeah, but that's it. It's just mid. This show is overloved, overhyped. I would put it in mid, but I truly hated this. Like the first time I watched it, I got through like the episode 5. And everything just felt so rushed. Like they had a full training arc in one episode. Yes, I know people don't want to see people train, but that's development. If you do all of that in one episode, it's not gonna be that good. No, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. The animation carries, but other than that, I wouldn't put it as high as these. Even though these aren't good either, but I separated New World One Piece from pre New World because pre New World it was just peak. It was not a single dragon point. Like as literally as the story started, it was already going uphill from there, and it like to the end to Marineford, it was at the top of the hill. Then New World, it started going downhill. I would put it in enjoyable. It's I wouldn't put it as low as Shippuden. I gotta put it a little higher because while Shippuden had an entire war arc that was dragging, these only had pieces within the arc, like the prison arc of Wano and the tournament arc of Dressrosa. It was stuff within the arc, but the arc like towards the end picked up, but the war arc did not really pick up. You feel me? It was just dead the whole time. There was some cool fights and that's it. Then I got the One Piece movies. The reason that I didn't put in any Shippuden movies is because like I only seen them like once and they were just kind of generic. It wouldn't really be a place for them on here. But the One Piece movies, they were like literal good, like full stories within them. Like Naruto stories had stories, but it wasn't really that much. It wasn't really that much. It felt like a Pokemon movie kind of. Strong World, I didn't like Strong World that much. Shiki was cool, but I put it good. Z, peak. Gold, peak. Stampede, good. The villain in Stampede just didn't really. It was just another Blackbeard type character, but what do I say? Blackbeard is good. It was just supposed to be basically a literal pirate. Like a lot of characters don't be feeling like pirates. Bullet literally just felt like a pirate, but he didn't. He barely. He was Broly basically. He didn't even talk in the movie. It felt like he was just there, just bullying people. That's what he was, Broly. That's the perfect way to explain it. Then I got the Pokemon series right here. I separated them by generations. This got Tracy in it though. I wish I wouldn't have did that because that brings it down to Burger King tier. I wouldn't really watch Indigo League that many times. Or just Gen 1 in general. Same thing with this. Yeah, his team got a little better, but he barely caught any Johto Pokemon. Like, come on. This world was good. This enjoyable fairy tale tier. Peak, if you've seen this, it's amazing. Even the Japanese intro for this was just goated. I can't remember the English one because I watched this like on TV while the Japanese one I literally like was watching that on YouTube type stuff. So I went out of my way to listen to that. It was good. Sun and Moon, I put right here. I mean, these gotta go higher. Sun and Moon is better than Univa, but it's not as bad, not as good as these. And then I got the little 4 movies right here. I've seen way more, but I've seen these thousands of times. The animation in this movie is cold. Literally everything in this movie is cold, but the animation for this time is just like, come on. Too good. This one felt a little weird at some points, and I don't watch anime of this genre, so it felt even weirder watching it, but it was still good. Still good. Summer Wars, peak. Art style, peak. Animation, peak. Did the little Sword Online type stuff, the online like digital world type stuff. It did what it needed to do. Peak. Same thing with this. Peak. Supposed to be basically a little boy going into the beast world. Boy and the Beast. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. This, Summer Wars, Akira. Those are just peak anime movies. Probably the best. There's some other ones like The Girl Who Left Through Time and all that. Those is peak too. I just didn't add them on this list, but peak. Peak. This is what peak is right here. Not really much for me to say. This is it. Like, this is it. This is it. I have to talk to the mic real quick. This is it. I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. I don't want it to go over the 20-minute mark because I don't know. My first, like, there was another one I was recording that was like 30 minutes, and I was like, ain't nobody gonna watch this. But if it says 19 instead of 20, y'all gonna watch it. So let me end if I hit that point. I don't.